Okay, before I go into that actual review today, I have something cool to show you guys. But it might be, we're trying to solve where to put it, but, because, so I can have it in my videos, but, I'll show you a little teaser of what's to come soon. Look at it! Isn't it amazing? Shout out to my aunt for giving me this, and, yeah, like I said, we're trying to move it into the video, so we're just trying to find out where to put it. But anyways, let's go into the actual review! That was an early birthday present. But what is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Amon's Toxic Mother. Back at it with another video. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Barbie movie. And before we get into the actual video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 300 subscribers, just 47 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. Those, because for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to like the video if you like my toxic movie reviews. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications, so you miss occasion when I upload. Also do share the video, because it'll also help me out when we can have some more people join the toxic fam. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on Barbie down below. But before we get into the review, let's give a quick plot synopsis, shall we? So transition on Shazam. Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in the colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land. However, when they get a chance to go to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living among humans. Alright, well, if you guys saw my Out of the Theater review, I thought it was good. Not a very, positive good. What am I saying? I thought it was good, but, you could tell in the review I wasn't very sure that was a good movie. I think it is, but it has major issues for me. So, yeah, with that being said, let's just go into the actual review. Alright, so starting off with the good, we always start off with the good over here. Margot Robbie as Barbie was a perfect casting choice. She really is, I think that might be the role she's known for most now, maybe. It depends on if people see her as Harley Quinn more or her. I have no clue. But she was amazing and phenomenal in the role of Barbie, and she does quite some dramatic stuff in here that works, and then there's some stuff that she's comedic, and I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, that's the first positive. Second positive, Ryan Gosling as Ken is a standout. He was a perfect casting as Ken. He was a scene stealer whenever he popped up on screen, especially it's just Ken or something like that. I forgot how the song went, but that song was best part of the movie for me. I thought that was pretty good, and I was ripping off Grease, and they were doing I thought it was funny. Also, the actors that played the other Barbies and Kens, and the surprise cameos of actors playing the Barbie and the Kens. For example, the guy that was Shang-Chi in the Marvel movies, that was the other, Ken that Ryan Gosling's Ken is kind of battling with. I thought he was a pretty good Ken. There's also some other Barbies that were memorable, for example, for me, the one that stood out the most was probably the one that was played by the person that was auditioning for Lois Lane. I forgot what her name was, but she also is in Death on the Nile. I forgot what her name was, but she's a standout, I guess. I don't know why I said that, but she is. And then there's also Crazy Barbie in here too, which is another great one. And yeah, it was that. There were quite a few surprises in there too. Well, not surprises, because I knew some were coming, so yeah. What other stuff? The songs, that's, as I mentioned, there's only 2 songs in here, I think. So it's the opening song, I'm pretty sure, and then there's the It's Just Ken song. I like that one quite a bit. The cinematography and how they made Barbie Land look, I really appreciated, and loved the style to make it feel similar to an actual Barbie land, so they did a great job on that. The movie opening where you saw it in the trailers where it kind of makes fun of 2001: A Space Odyssey. By the way, the most overrated movie of all time. It did a great job of making fun of that. So yeah. There's some messaging about the modern day society, which works some. I'll talk about it more later, but it works some. It does kind of is true sometimes, but we'll go back to that later. But that is all the good. Now let's move on to the mixed. The villain played by Will Ferrell was most of the time pretty funny, but besides from that, he's kind of a generic movie villain. So yeah, well, he's not really a villain. He's more like he is kind of and kind of not, but yeah. Also, how they added a human character into the storyline. So basically, why Barbie gets brought. It's just, they add a reason why Barbie went to the real world, because she saw a vision or whatever of basically there was a person that used to play with her all the time, and they kind of lost their way in real world, so she goes to the real world. I don't know, it's just, it was a mixed bag on how that works for me. That's not a spoiler, by the way, that's kind of like the plot. How they made it, also how they made it more into the adult side compared to the kid side. I'm more like mixed in there. I'd say mostly positive, because I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't be kid friendly, but not like really in the way they made the movie. There's not like a lot of language or anything. It mostly focuses on, I'll talk about the negatives, but most little girls play with Barbies, and most of them probably wanted to see this movie, and then they probably didn't get allowed to. So, Barbie has been around for a bunch of years, so it does. I think it's still gonna make a lot of money, but yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know. Also, now let's move on to the bad. First issue. And this one's a big one. The movie is very preachy. So, I have a problem with some movies. So, okay. Some movies get very preachy about messaging, and sometimes it works on a rare occasion. But then there's most of the time which every single time they bring up like a message or whatever, that's not like, how do I explain this? Whenever it brings up I don't know, like if it brings up, it's just the way they handled the messaging in the movie, like with the preachiness is, I don't know, I just don't like that stuff in my movies. Especially the third act. Well, most of the movie, every single time they mentioned one of those things, I utterly groaned inside. Also, it's very feministic. So it's because, like, I'm trying to find out how to word this. I think it makes, I don't know what it, like, I don't know how to explain it, but basically, it's very feministic. If you thought She-Hulk was very feministic, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's way more feministic in here. Like, I do understand, like, I do appreciate the messaging where they're saying, like, women should be treated equally, like men, like, them two both get treated equally, but it kind of overpowers it, if that makes sense. So that's what those two major issues dropped the score down for me. Like, I think if you took all that stuff out, I would have gave this like an A- or B+. But then when they added that stuff in there, I just, yeah. And then it also talks about some gender roles in society, which not in a Barbie movie. You could do that in sort of your own movie. It's just, I don't know. It's just me. And then also some of the humor also does not land. I mentioned that most of the humor does land, but then there's some exceptions where the humor does not land. And yeah, that is the review. This movie was probably one of my most hardest movies to review because I still don't have a score yet in my head. I have to really think about it because so let's bring out the toxic meter, shall we? I'll give it a B- because I gave Hypnotic a C+, which I don't think Barbie's as bad as Hypnotic is, but this is probably like my lowest rated B- movie out of the year so far, because I've had a lot of B- movies this year. I've had a lot of them. So, but yeah, that was just my review. I know I might get some hate comments, or I don't know. But before we get to the actual ending of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 300 subscribers, just 47 away now. I really hope about you, boy, if you did subscribe. It also goes for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like the video if you like my toxic movie reviews. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so miss case will upload. Also, do share the video because it'll also help me out and we can have some more people join the toxic fam. And do feel free to comment your thoughts about Barbie down below as well. And I forgot to mention on the toxic meter, where does it fit? I'll put it in a in between toxic goodness and toxic disappointment. It's in between that range. It's like right in between there. So yeah, but with that being said, I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Pa 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 pa.